Superman, more like super flop. The movie flopped. Not domestically, internationally, it flopped. So to all you James Gunn meat riders out there, I just want to say, I'm so happy that this movie flopped. I knew that James Gunn was the wrong man for the job. But anyway, if this movie does not hit 600 million, they are going to press reboot again because they have no confidence. You know how Warner Brothers are going to react to this. It's just a matter of time before they fire James Gunn.
Because unfortunately, Superman, by the looks of it, has flopped internationally.
Yes!
The world, just other countries, they weren't having Superman. They weren't having truth, justice, and the American way this time.
It flopped. Oh God. This movie was supposed to make at least $1 billion. At least. Everyone was like, oh my God, it's gonna make $1 billion. I said, no. James Gunn is stupid. James Gunn is a man baby. He writes man baby characters. There is no way that this movie is going to be successful.
Warner Brothers has to be very worried about how poor the international market is doing. Now, domestically, what we're seeing out there from everybody is 123 million, 122 million, right around that area. And the talking point, I suppose, is, hey, it's ahead of Man of Steel. Hey, it's the best opening for the Superman first franchise installment. It's ahead of Man of Steel. Hey, it's the best opening weekend for any Superman first franchise film. The problem is that's not the case. This is a lie that is now circulating out there for some reason by every single person. It actually is lower than Man of Steel's opening weekend. This is an article from 12 years ago. Weekend box office, Man of Steel soars to $128 million debut domestically. And the reason being is because I know it's been a while, but Thursday previews are the norm now. Thursday previews at 2 p.m. are the norm now. It didn't used to be that way. Do you guys remember midnight releases? And then they started a couple early Thursday previews, usually starting at like 10 o'clock maybe. Man of Steel, back when Man of Steel debuted, you could see $116 million for the quote-unquote opening weekend, but the total gross for that point was 128. Why? Because back then, they didn't count the Thursday preview to the weekend number. Now, we do that. It's commonplace now. That's what we're doing for Superman. We are including, right, if we go to it, in this number, we're including the Thursday previews in the total number of 122, 123 million. Man of Steel, with its Thursday included, made 128. This is not talking about adjusted for inflation. This is none of this stuff. It did not beat Man of Steel unadjusted for inflation. And these international numbers, the fact that Superman makes $95 million internationally should be incredibly concerning. If you want to bring up Man of Steel again, Man of Steel's global debut was only $200 million. Let's put that in perspective as well. They didn't open in all international markets like James Gunn's Superman just did. They staggered releases. I think they opened in 24 international markets on the opening weekend.
Yeah, but it's going to be one of James Gunn's biggest flops. And this is going to ruin David Cornsweet's career. He's done after this. I feel so sorry for him because honestly, the best thing about this movie was David Cornsweet. And he really, really did try to lift this movie. But guess what? James Gunn had to shoehorn his face into the marketing, which was a stupid idea. From the director of James Gunn, no one gives a damn about James Gunn. He is garbage. And he single-handedly tanked the Superman movie. I keep on saying this, guys. The truth only needs to be told once. You know what a liar does? A liar like James Gunn? He makes things up. No, I don't have to make 700 million. How come Zack Snyder did not say that? How come when it came to Zack Snyder, he had to make 800 million. He had to make $1 billion. But when it comes to your precious James Gunn, this movie, to be successful, it doesn't have to make 700 million. It doesn't even have to make its budget back. But if it was Zack Snyder, oh yes, he has to make, for it to succeed, he has to make at least 800 million. Batman versus Superman was a flop. But now this isn't a flop. You see how we're changing the rules for the guy that you're giving, all of you James Gunn meat riders. Bruh, you can't keep his meat out of your mouth. Damn, I'm reading the comments, and my gosh, there's so many guys who's got James Gunn's milk all in their mouth.
Compare it with James Gunn's past, it's better than Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 opening day at 48.1 million, and it's almost on par with the Batman, which is a much more popular character than Superman. Take it from me. That one did, let's see, that one did 56.6, so pretty much on par with the Batman. And it is the biggest opening day in James Gunn's career. It beat Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2's 56.1 million.
Oh my
God. It is now the 45th biggest opening day of all time.
That's
and
amazing.
It's the biggest Friday ever for a Superman solo film. That's still really, really good. A huge win for Superman here domestically. Now, this hides... So that's all good news, but all that just hid the really, really bad news, guys. And I have to bring some people down out of the clouds because, unfortunately, Superman, by the looks of it, has flopped internationally. The world, just other countries, they weren't having Superman. They weren't having truth, justice, and the American way this time. And there are several reasons for that. I'll go into 6 reasons why I think Superman has failed overseas. I think you know a big one right now. We're not the most popular in the world right now, especially in the Trump tariff era. There's also superhero fatigue definitely going on overseas. There's numerous reasons which I'll get to, but we have to be realistic. We have to talk about what is the actual success of the new DCU. Where does it end up in a worldwide total? Where does it end up? Does it make its budget back? And you have to factor all this in. And so I've run the numbers. You're going to be the most well-informed Superman fans with the box office, the most well-informed DCU fans with the actual numbers and what's coming and what's in the future. But basically, unfortunately, because international did not come through for us, we are going to miss. We're going to miss Man of Steel's final totals. The Superman 2025 is going to be worse, unfortunately, than Man of Steel by the end. Now, that's not the end of the world.
You get a little participation trophy. Oh my God! We're not competing anymore because it's James Gunn. He gets his participation trophy. Oh, that's so magical. Oh, it's James Gunn. He's such a magical little guy. He likes talking about kids. That's so magical. But yeah, we're constantly throwing Zack Snyder under the bus. We're constantly shitting on Snyder. All of this was just smoke screens in order to pretend, to project that the movie was more successful than what it was. We know this. This is a flop. We already said it from the beginning. When they already started filming it, it was already a flop. I could already see it from the beginning that this was going to be a flop. Just go back to my old videos. I know that people don't want to believe me, but just go back. I was in Thailand. I said, what? James Gunn is gonna direct the new Superman movie? No, that must be a joke. That must be like an April Fool's joke.
Now, that's not the end of the world. It feels like, and even James Gunn was predicting it. He was probably seeing numbers before us, that 700 million would be ridiculous. He doesn't have to hit those numbers to be considered a success. Many people were saying that the Warner Brothers kind of adjusted their production and their projections to being okay with a 500 million number. If it's less than 500 million, then they're going to pull the plug. If it's 400 million, that's plug pull. But that was never in danger, at least because U.S. came out and support. Critics, audiences came out and supported it. I think I've done the research. It's probably going to end up at 585 by the end of its entire run globally, both the U.S. and internationally. And so, is that a success? I think that it's very mid to low in the start of the DCU. And unfortunately, going forward with Supergirl and Clayface, I think those are going to make less than what this made. And so DC and WB better be prepared to adjust their project.
Incoming flops, guys. This is a flop. Superman was a flop. Supergirl is going to be an even bigger flop. And then we got Clayface. So 3 flops. Guardians of the Galaxy is not as popular as Superman. I know it's crazy to say that. Right now it's super controversial, but Superman is the most popular comic book character of all time. The most popular. Zack tried to do something different, you guys wouldn't have it. Now we got this piece of shit which came out. Maybe the movie's just bad. Superman Returns, remember that movie? It flopped. The reason why is because a good Superman is not interesting. No one wants to see a good character. No one wants to see a happy character. That doesn't work. Now, I think it's time for us to have that conversation. I know there are a lot of James Gunn fans out there which don't support him at the box office, but there are a lot. You know, this movie was going to go to $1 billion, but apparently all of the James Gunn fans did not go to the theater to support him. This is a flop. I was correct. It feels great to be vindicated, guys. All that I'm going to say is that I'm on the moon right now because I was so precise with my predictions. I was so precise. And it's crazy because I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, Zack tried something different and people hated him for it. When Man of Steel came out, I was like, finally, an interesting take on Superman. This is very, very interesting. And it works. Why? Because you can put Batman in Superman's universe because they're 2 serious characters. But then again, guys, I think it's time to fire James Gunn. But if you guys want to prolong it just a little bit longer, we can do that. Yeah, it feels good to be right. Do not forget to like, comment, and share. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.